I got some really bad news. You had the setups, obviously, the bike issue and whatever. However, the bike issue, although it's been bad and been timed, only at times I get like stretches or whatever. It has been down in the last few days, ever since that day where the setups were suggesting that there's going to be a replacement girlfriend to all the ones that have been fucked up. Nothing's come of that yet. The following day, the setups were a bit more nastier, a bit more negative, and they seem to be implying that you're going with someone called Catherine, spelled with a K, in the way the sort of photographs I took came out through that suggestion. I don't currently know anyone under that name. There is possibly someone that I was speaking to last year at Bridgeport with that name, but this person's in a relationship and she's a mother. There's been a couple of paranormal occurrences. Now, I've been mentioning like the rattling of the draining, the stainless steel tray that you put on the draining thing on the sink. What was I going to say? Well, that was in the oven, and it had been rattling on specific days over the last couple of months. It could be I'm not sure how many months now. It could be as far as possibly hitting the 3-month ago. It's done it on quite a few occasions. There's been some more paranormal experiences today, which is what's the date? I should know what it is. I think it's the 19th, because they were going to play. You was going to have the final of the World Cup today, which is between Argentina and Spain, but they've taken it off. I think they're showing it on the 27th of this month, which would be next Monday. But just want to mention about the spiritual activity. Right, so it was about an hour ago it first started, just about in the 5 o'clock range, 5 p.m. range, and at I'll just check the what I put on Facebook a minute. At 16:05 p.m. the lights flickered again, but it was done in a pattern, and it's not a very good suggestion in the pattern that was suggested, because it was done as like in a flicker to spell out a message, and it was done as to say it's too late. That's how it came out. It's too late. Or I could have said too late, just I can't remember, but it definitely said it definitely flickered as to say it's too late, like that. So this is not fucking good news, is it? I don't know how I'm going to get anyone, because I've just been on Facebook at this minute in time, looking up, because all these people have like it raw and don't wear a condom or whatever. It says even if you don't come or you don't have sex with anyone, say for a couple of days, even if you piss, or even though you or whatever, you might not have come. The thing is, cum is still centered around the penis area, meaning it's possible to get anyone pregnant in any kind of raw sex without taking an L1 pill, which is a morning after pill, or the biggest name in the pills of the contraception, as the alternative to having to wear a condom. It's very interesting, this, because many people, you got these Facebook pages and dating sites, the whole lot of them, when you sort of, how do you prefer to have, they sort of put these pages up that people can comment, and you can get like 300, 400 comments or 500, depending on how many, even a couple of thousand or more, when people are joining these sorts of pages. And quite literally, the whole lot of them, you might get 1 in 100 that says they prefer to use a condom, or the rest have it raw. Just, if that's the case, it just shows how many people, and it makes sense why when I go out I can see up to 500 people pushing a pushchair in one day when I'm walking around the Oval. Obviously I can't guarantee it's the same person that I'm walking into, but it can occur about 500 times when it's a bad day, and a lot of these are just teenagers that are being made pregnant. And this is what's fucking it up for me getting anyone, because I'm 44, coming up 45 years of age, and the only sex I've had is being abused as a child, and I'm not very happy about it. But there's nothing I can do about it, because everyone's been made stale. The mistakes have been made. I don't have to like using that term, but if you go back many years ago, 20 plus years ago, my enemies were actually telling me that we're fucking it up for you getting that person because we're deliberately making her pregnant, and that's exactly what they did. And now 20 years later, you've got people moaning about the age gap, telling you can't have a sexual type person. So all this has got to be replaced. And now we've got the spirit world telling me it's too late. So they obviously want me on people who raped me as a child, and that's fucking sliced my throat and put a fucking knife in my heart and taken me to the floor in Jehovah Yahweh's creation, Jesus Christ's creation, for yet another life to the previous life of where it happened in my last life, where I wasn't compensated either, or wasn't allowed anyone in my last life. And then when I'm born again, that's triple times. So let's go into the music track of Nuclear Winter, Pockering in Dub, which talks about someone being molested and never having sex, and saying it's triple times and it's time to blow the world up. So we need to go into that track, I think. There's no way I'm going to find anyone. I am chatting to one person, but I can't guarantee how, whether it's a scammer or whether it's genuine at this minute in time. However, the accent's different to most of the others. It's definitely an interesting person, but it's touch and go. But 99.9% of them are scammers. And even she has asked for a top-up card, which is not a very good start or very good example to start the friendship. Anyway, I have been warned. Again, this is online, just to tell me that whether this person's a psychic or whether it's even CIA, you don't know, because I told my Facebook channel it could be some fake channel from there. Just to let me know that the four-letter name that I'm not allowed to mention, that begins with well. I've already said the name, haven't I? But don't worry about it. I'm not really doing this video. It's too much of a palaver. Well, whoever this person was, it didn't sound like it's connected. It sort of had that American. But they did warn me that this person's gone, that this person is through, and that it's too late, and that this person does have a boyfriend, and obviously, as I just mentioned, the mistake's going to be made, or it has been made, and didn't quite give me the information on that, but the conversation was definitely aimed to say it's too late, and that all sort of, when I was speaking to this person, I'm still friends with this person now, but the likelihood is one of those people from America that's connected to a lab where they have a load of Facebooks or whatever. Could be a bunch of scammers that have some knowledge, or it could be the CIA or whatever. It just does seem like that. But I'll have to leave the recording there because we've got to keep the windows open because it's a very hot day as usual. There's never a day where it's below 28 degrees in this room in the summer. It's 28.5 today, 18:26 PM. So I'll leave it out on that recording, or this section. So just to let you know, it's going to be bloody difficult. I mean, all these people are having sex before the age of consent. 16 is the lowest legal age of consent in the UK. Although someone my age or people older than me could actually legally have sex with someone that age, they're still considered minors due to the law, as the government put a new restriction in back in 2003 to up it to 18 for people that are coach workers or are in authority over people under the age of 18, where it used to be 16. So it's not actually illegal, but it's not seen as the right thing to do until you reach the age of 18. This is why a lot of the people are struggling to put the age of consent of what it is in the UK when it comes to doing these like graphic designs to to what age of consent it is across the world. Like going back 5 years ago, Japan it was 13, China it's 14, I'm not sure what it is now, it might be 16 now because they changed it, haven't they, in the last 5 years, all the consent's gone to at least 15, something like 16 to 18 in all countries worldwide, apart from, where is it? What's the name of the place? Oh God. Oh, let me think a minute. I'll just give you the other ones until I can think of that other one where it's 15. I'm not sure about China, whether that's 14 or 16. I think they changed it to 16, but I will double check. Nigeria was 11. I think that's one of them that was gone up to 15. 15 is the lowest in the whole world now, because between last 5 years they've upped it in every country in the world, because all the government's been told that they got to up it to a realistic age. But there are some countries, mostly in in Europe and the UK, where they have like restrictions or make suggestions that you should go with older people, not by law, but by rules or how people would see it, or whatever. Regardless of the situation of what someone's been through, or whether they've been molested and never had anyone or anything like that, that's not taken into account. You're seen as everything else, and you've got to have the age pushed up as high as they can possibly push it. This is why you've got to look for people in other countries who will allow that age gap, because in the UK and a lot of Europe now, because my brother was saying it's like it in Amsterdam, he said it's starting to change everywhere. So he says, I was discussing it on Facebook, but the places where people will allow it is the United States, Asia, Africa, although I'm not keen on Africans, because a lot of the Africans, they've got big upper bodies parts, and they have they're not exactly the sexiest types of people in the world. In actual fact, they're probably the most, I don't insult people obviously, but when it comes to sexual attraction and what I'm attracted to, black Africans are probably the most negative attraction types that I come across in basically in the whole world, or one of the worst types. Don't get me wrong, I like them, I love them as people, but not sexually. So that place is, I can get it up, I know what the name of the place is. Believe it or not, the age of consent was only 9 5 years ago in that specific country, which is very, see if I can get it up a minute. Can't remember what folder I put it in. No, it's not that one. No, it's not that one either. Right, age of consent. The country that is was, which is loading now. Oh, I've got the wrong. Wait, I'll just go through a couple of. Right, where is it? Yemen. Yeah, so that's the country. It's called Yemen. It's got a red, white, black flag. But through restrictions, not through law, the UK and Germany and Turkey, and there's another country, I can't remember what it is, it's the highest age of consent countries in the world, but not through law, but through restriction of age gaps or suggestions. Although that's not going to make much difference, obviously, but obviously I want a younger person. That's a priority, because I don't want to go with someone with HIV or has had sex with many people that are mothers that you can't even enjoy sex with. I mean, a lot of them are much uglier than people that abused me as a child, and that's taking the piss. At the age they would have been at the time, and I'm being told to go with people at least twice the age of the youngest people that sexually abused me as a child at the age they were at the time it happened. And also on top of that, they're telling me to go on my bike and all the rest of it, and they're making bad suggestions when they make other suggestions that they're doing in that way. That's really making a far-fetched suggestion at the moment. The threats on the increase as well, so that's increased, especially yesterday and the day before. People are saying pray to worship to Jesus Christ, but you can't, because Jesus Christ had sex in his living life with Mary Magdalene and very close relations with her, and it's not only just stated in the lost Gospels or secret Bible books of where he was in a relationship and had sex and whatever. but it's in the actual main Bible itself, which I didn't know about, where Mary Magdalene and Jesus had strong connections. So that's a very good suggestion, isn't it? People are saying you need to worship Christ here when he's had sex with well, actually she was younger than a teenager, but there was no age of consent back in the time when Jesus was born. It was approved, even though he was a lot older. I'm not worshipping someone that's going to make you feel like you're sucked up inside, feeling like shit. Like, you know, to know that he's had an enjoyable life that way when I haven't. And if I was to worship or do anything, it just causes sickening thoughts and sickening feelings, and you just can't. And it's one of the reasons I've turned against God or Jesus or whatever, because it's obviously I like the spirit realm or whatever. But when it comes to religious, although I go to these places to socialise, to try and make contacts, to see if I can find someone, as far as the worship goes, that's out the fucking door for good. Completely out the door. It's too late there. Yeah, there's something else I want to mention. We had this 4-letter name. I've already said the name now because I was mentioning something earlier on that's got the name. But I don't want to have to redo this recording because there'd be bits and pieces that I'll miss out and forget. But that was uncovered in about 300 jungle tracks. And then the name changed. But we'll come to that in a minute. This is also in cryo chamber dark ambient, across the dark ambient tracks as well. And it's also in the New Age meditation scene. And it's in the think break itself, in one of the sections of the think break. So that's worth mentioning. And it's unfolding everywhere else. I won't go into a story with that because there's loads of documentaries that mention this specific person's name. The last 2 weeks, up until about several days ago or so, there's been suggestions of Anna in the last 2 weeks, which just under 2 weeks, around about 2 weeks now, I don't know. That's unfolding, going through different jungle mixes I've not heard before, but came out in the same period or connected or part of the same series of mixtapes that I used to have back in the day when I had them. No, I've never really gone into any of the other mixes. I just kept stuck to the ones that I had. There's a couple that have come up here and there through time that I listened to, like Slipmat, the 25th of the 694 or whatever, which is an online one that I knew, and Ratty, 12th of the 2nd, 1994. But most of them sort of really go through are just sort of the occasional mixes I got into from the ones that I had on tape back in the day. Well, Anna was being revealed, and there's a suggestion to say that Justin is having sex with Anna, aged 45. But at the same time, as we go further into the second week, or 10 days later, or how many days later, it started to unfold, falling back into that other name that I mentioned. And then as the tables turn, I start coming across new stuff, which I've not heard of before, applying that Jesus Christ has turned. But there's also a load of tracks that I know already to apply that Jesus Christ has turned. I'll tell you those tracks now. So we've got Rob and Goldie, the Shadow Process mix, where it says, Christ has turned, the Lord's full of shit. Something like that, I'm not sure what it says, but that's the sounds it's got in the music. You've got Well Beloved Immortal, and it says, God has turned, your soul is falling. Now, people are saying that it's saying your soul is immortal, but it definitely sounds like your soul is falling. And it says, well done, Justin. Futurism wasn't used to be me. Sorry, not well done, Justin. Well done, Sandy, I think it says. I'm not sure. But in the jungle break, and I'm not sure if it's a section of the think break that's been stretched, I'm not sure, but it sounds like it says Justin, isn't it? Then it goes into like sound, electrical sound that sounds like we shit on you sort of thing. It sort of applies that, and then it goes, your soul is falling, and then it says, God has turned. It's known as a Dark Arts EP on 7th Story Projects, and it was released in the 2013 area. But it's done in the same style as the old school jungle tracks of 1993 and 1994. So there are other tracks as well. You've got A-Sides, Murder, Time to Get Busy mix on Strictly Underground Records. And, it sounds like it says Murder just, Time to Get Busy. But it could be saying Murder Blood. Because that makes more sense to the information of what the track title is saying. We're halfway through. You've got Enigma, the second chapter, which is a sample that A-Sides has used in that track to produce that specific track. Well, in that track, which is also known as Enigma, second chapter, it's got some horn samples that sounds like it's saying, Jesus Christ has turned, Jesus Christ has turned, 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 and then it goes into like the sound of a nuclear war bomb going off, kind of. So that's another track. Actually, this is a commercial track from the 70s. It's a good track, I like it, but it's not connected to the music that I listen to. But it is a very good track. It's called Brian and Michael, Matchstalk Men and Matchstalk Cats and Dogs. It's a well-known big track. The start of the track, it sounds like it's saying, Jesus Christ has turned, Jesus Christ has turned. So that's another track. Let's come to Wax Doctor, The Saint, Simon Templar mix on Enforcers 6. Just want to mention two other good tracks on there. You've got Covert Operations, Ice Cold, and The Alliance, First Impressions. Incidentally, First Impressions, halfway through the track, has the same piano sample that Way Out West, The Gift, used later on, but it wasn't actually taken from The Alliance First Impressions. They did their own version of it that sounds identical to the version that's on The Alliance First Impressions. So that's Way Out West, The Gift, and that's obviously a bigger track and more commercial. The Alliance First Impressions is more of a sort of an underground track. And I think there's Kate Bush samples at the start, but I'm not sure where it's from to make that track. Anyway, I want to talk about the Simon Templar mix of The Saint, where it goes, and it's got like a wristwatch sound or ticking time bomb sound, or I guess you could view it as a flick of the wrist, before it goes into a sound which is like a dark, deep melody, which sounds like it's Jesus Christ has turned. And then a bit further in the track, you got the section where it says bull. I'm not exactly sure what it says, but it sounds like it's saying bullshit. I'm sleeping with a little girl. Bullshit. And it goes back into the wristwatch sound, and then goes into like some sudden, after going back into like that bit where it says Jesus Christ has turned, you've got a couple of louder sounds that they put in there, which is making it sound like oh shit sort of suggestions. Obviously there are other tracks as well, but I'll keep it minimal just to let you know that there's a lot more. It's going to have to be done on another documentary, because this is only starting to unfold in the last few days. I think it's the 14th of July 2026 is the start of the newer Christ Fallen tracks that are occurring in old school jungle tracks that I've listened. It could be the 15th, I'm not sure. It's either the 14th or the 15th. It was the evening, or when I was drinking that evening, of when I found a load more Jesus Christ turned tracks. So I'll leave it there on this recording. I was just about to put this recording onto extract it for YouTube, and I've had another warning from a spirit. The lights flicker for the third time now. And it's flickered in a way, sort of, it could be many different sayings, but I have to say Diddy. It's like that, Diddy. It flicked in that way to say that name. It could mean, I'll have a look, think of what names or other suggestions or what, but it definitely went to, it said it's 6:05. There's a flicker done in a pattern, as to say it's too late or too late now, I can't remember. And now we've got Diddy. I'll go through some suggestions to see what I can work out on this, but I don't know. There might be another recording to this, so if you've seen this one and there's any more paranormal experiences in there, then obviously I shall upload it onto YouTube. I want to try and get the evidence, you see, as well. It's not just it's not like with the other one where you can film the evidence of the tray shaking by itself for a minute or whatever. It's a bit more difficult with lighting, but it is coming out as a message, and it's good news that you're getting that information. Although the suggestions are not very clever, like it's too late now, it's worth if you can get that informational, because obviously, you know, see what happens. There might be other stuff, I might be able to work out anything from the word Diddy, not Diddy, Diddy, like that. So Diddy, like that, not like quite that fast, like Diddy, like that, something like that.